Hey folks, this is going to be a quick video for Anna Jacobs, who wanted to replicate this image reveal on hover effect from this site on a Squarespace site. So really quickly, all I've done is I've made a really basic version of their page with a couple of images on it. And what am I going to do to it? I am going to get it working. So let's start by targeting this section. And open some curly brackets. We want to target the image blocks, so let's just go straight ahead and target the image blocks. That's SQS-block image, and it's a class, so that's why we're using a period here. I'm going to set the opacity to 0, and they've all disappeared. Super. We want them back when we're hovering, so let's leave a few lines, stay within the same curly brackets, throw up an ampersand, colon, hover, new set of curly brackets, and we want to say opacity 1, which will make them visible when I hover them. But then maybe we want to smooth things out. So let's go back to the image block itself, and let's add in transition. And we want it to be opacity. We want it to take 1 second, and we're going to make it linear. Nice. They'll fade in and out. Pretty cool. But that's not right. Why is it fading in up here? Well, if we inspect it, we can see that the image block itself, I'll just show you, 5 pixel solid yellow, has this one here. Yep. Sorry, 1 second. Outline. Bear with me, my browser's acting funny. I'm going to set this one, seeing as it's our example one, to an opacity of 1. And you'll see that yellow area is much larger than the image. Well, if I edit my page, I can see that that yellow area was the image block. It's the space that it's taking up in the grid. Now, there's 2 ways to fix this. There's a kind of lazy-ish way where if I set it to fill, it's going to fill the entire box. And that'll be great, except, as you can see, if the image block itself within the grid doesn't match the aspect ratios of the image, that's not going to be ideal. So let's go back, let's set it back to fit, and let's look at another solution. So we said the issue was the image block, so we can actually target one of the elements inside it. So the obvious one might be to target the literal image element. And let me save this, because I know it looks like it's working, but there you go. It's not. The reason being, there's an element on top, which is this, the fluid image overlay. And that's, as the name suggests, that's the overlay for the image. We can do an easy fix where we can say for the same section, or sorry, for the same image block here, we can grab all of this and we can say the fluid image overlay z index minus 500, something like that, and then it'll work. But this seems like a confusing, unnecessary extra line of CSS, so we can ignore that. We could also set the z-index for the image as being higher, but if I remember correctly, yeah, that works, but it also seems kind of like a little bit of a hacky solution. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. However, look, we're seeing over here on these other ones, yeah, not working as well. So what about if we target something else? Let's get rid of that z-index there because we're not going to need it. Let's instead target this. So here you can see that's the part of the container that's, you know, bigger than the image itself. But this element, the SQS image content element, if we target that, drop a little save, Now we're getting a little bit more luck. I know the other two aren't coming in for the minute. Don't worry about that. I'm going to sort those in a moment. There we go. Just got to find where it is. This one over here, though, no luck, no luck. Let's make them visible again for a second. And in fact, let's make it a little bit more subtle just so that we can do this for the troubleshooting. Let's do 0.5. Reload this because the CSS is taking a second. So now we can see they transition to full opacity when we hover, except for this one over here. And only, you can see if I only just catch that top bit. The reason being for that is because here, this text block is in front. So again, a couple of ways we can fix. We can just move the image block to the front, like so. But that might not be ideal for what I'm going for here. It's an easy fix, but perhaps I want to keep the keep the image behind whilst, let's just exit and discard this, while still retaining the hover effect. For that, what I would want to do is, well, the easiest way would just be to target that particular block. Let's get rid of this and say pointer events none. And, oh, hang on a second. Sorry, not the block, it's the FE block. So get rid of this first bit, FE-block. And then now it's working. So what I'm doing here is I am targeting the block within the Fluid engine itself, turning off all pointer interactions, and that's letting me get this. So there you go. This saves you writing the same CSS for multiple elements and going through block IDs and trying to remember them. It's a whole lot easier this way. I'm just going to tidy up my CSS a little bit. Oh, let's rename it. That's a totally different plugin. This isn't a mixed media slider. This is image reveal on hover. If you did want something like this cool effect where it's picking different images each time, that would need either a bit of JavaScript or way too many image blocks and things, and that would be a bit annoying. So if you want a tutorial on that, you can reach out. I can create something for that. But yeah, a couple of lines of CSS. You can dabble with this. You can make the transition as long or as short as you need. I tend to go for like 0.2, 0.3 seconds. And if I set this opacity down to 0, it's now a lot more like this. Hope this was helpful. Yeah. Drop me a message if you need more.